I'm not sure if this is a good or bad sign, but Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, revealed that he demanded that Netflix reshoot numerous scenes for the upcoming live-action adaptation because, quote, they weren't good enough to put out into the world. Let's get into this story here. He released a letter alongside the recently released trailer from Netflix, and after kind of like basically just providing some pleasantries, he revealed this little bit, and this is very drastically different from what you would normally see from any kind of Western creator where they might be getting negative feedback and be bristled and like, oh, it's because you're a racist or a sexist, or they'll make up whatever identity politic of the day du jour that they want to try and lambaste fans who are not happy with the adaptation. If there's something wrong with it. Well, Oda had a very different take on this. He said, after the launch, I'm sure I'll hear about some people pointing out how this character is missing or that scene is omitted or this bit is different from the manga. But I'm sure they'll come from a place of love, so I intend to enjoy even those comments. The story will span 8 episodes and take us up through you know where. So I think that is very different. He's already saying like, hey, I know that there's probably going to be people that are might be wondering why a certain scene is missing, or why was this changed, or why didn't you stay close to the source material, etc., etc. But he's saying like, I know those are coming, but I also know that they are coming from a place of love because those people actually care about One Piece and having a faithful adaptation. So I actually really like what he's saying here. Very different from what you would see from any kind of Western creator. Kelly Sudakana kind of comes to mind. If you don't like my politics, don't buy my books. Stuff like that. Or the Ghostbusters stuff where if you had any kind of criticism, you were labeled a misogynist. Numerous other examples that you can point to. But anyways, he goes on and says, even after the shoot was over, there were numerous scenes the production agreed to reshoot because I felt they weren't good enough to put out into the world. So that's huge. Oda's saying that the Netflix production, there were a lot of stuff that he thought wasn't up to par, and he was like, you need to reshoot this because we're not letting this release unless you do. So this is the part where I'm like, is this a good or a bad thing? Because if there's clearly a lot of bad things that he needed to reshoot, what is like the minimum bar here on quality? Are there other things that might not be as good that might needed to be reshot as well, and you only picked the things that were the most egregious? Or is this, hey, they did have a high level of quality, but there were certain things that weren't up to that par, and it was like, nah, we need to fix that and get that fixed. So you can interpret this in a couple different ways. I feel like I feel like being charitable, so I want to say that it is more of like the half glass full or whatever. I'm probably getting that analogy wrong, but I want to say it's more of the fact that, hey, there were a couple things that weren't up to par and they wanted to get them back up, and we reshot them to get that back up, rather than there's a lot of crap that's really bad and we need to at least elevate our game a little bit to get to a part where it is acceptable. So we'll find out when it releases. Obviously, Netflix has a track record with this. Death Note, Cowboy Bebop, the list goes on, but maybe this is the change. Maybe this is the one that they get right. Nevertheless, he goes on and talked about Monkey D. Luffy's actor Iñaki Godoy. Praised his performance. He said, on the other hand, there were also some lines that I thought didn't feel like Luffy on paper, but when I saw the filmed scenes, I went, it works. When it's Iñaki performing it as Luffy, as a matter of fact, it works great. So that makes me a little bit skeptical too. We heard the same kind of thing with Barbie, and we saw the reactions that we got from Barbie. They're like, oh, we thought that was really bad when we read it. We went down, saw it acted out, and thought it was okay. I'm getting flashbacks here from the Barbie movie. But hopefully coming from Oda, this is maybe a better sign. We'll see. There were so many things that had to be done to keep things from looking too unnatural in live action. The producers and the crew are pros at live action, and frankly, they're One Piece superfans too. The more knowledgeable you are about One Piece, the more you're likely to notice the love they poured into this. So that's a really good sign. But I feel like there's usually really high production quality on a lot of these things for the most part. Rings of Power being the one that kind of doesn't, that is like the exception where the production doesn't look very good. Obviously The Witcher and the armor and stuff too, but a lot of times you do usually see the high quality in the production with the character designs, the set pieces, the backgrounds, etc., the ship, everything like that. And you kind of see the love in that, even like in WandaVision and stuff like that. He then reminisced, "It was June when we made the final decision to go ahead and launch this show. My editor, who'd worked so hard on this, actually cried as he said, it was such a long journey. But LOL, before admitting, not that working hard on something guarantees success, of course." I don't know if I don't know what that means. Oh no. Not that working hard on something guarantees success. That doesn't sound very confident about the show. By now, I just love this production team and the cast so much that I can't wait for them to get the acclaim they deserved from everyone around the world. He then concluded saying, "And if by chance the people have some gripes, I'll be there to receive them together. Now, whatever feelings you choose to harbor in the meantime, it's still going to be 1 month, so please have some tea as you wait." So we will find out, but that is what Oda had to say about the upcoming One Piece, that he indeed demanded that some of the scenes be reshot. And I really do like how he differentiates himself from a lot of Western creators, saying that the criticism is going to be coming from love. And then even if it is negative criticism, he will be there to receive that as well. But let me know what you think about this. And if you like this video and you want more of it, hit that like and subscribe button.